I don't know if you've ever been in this situation where you are having conversations with people and you realize that you are not in the right table. I don't know if you ever had that feeling, but sometimes I'm here and I'm listening to everybody and I'm like, wait a minute, what are we talking about? Like, these people are debating on how to build something that I've built already. They invite me and I come here thinking that maybe they want my advice on how to build it, but they are all arguing as if they know how to do it already. And from the argument in the table, I realize that none of them have a clue what they're doing. But everybody's talking more than everybody, and everybody's voting, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Why am I in a table with people that I'm realizing they behind me in terms of where we are in alignment, in ambition, in vision? They're behind. They're years behind. But I'm here sitting at the table and I'm like, and it's not the first time it happens to me. Happens to me all the time. But a few weeks later, 2 weeks ago, I sat down with two women. I went to a dinner. It was a Black Excellence dinner, and I was with some women who were leaders, were entrepreneurs, who had visions, creators, movie directors, game developers, strategists. And I had a conversation with these ladies. And as I was having the conversation, I realized that, I'm loving this conversation. These women are actually on my level of thinking, which means that I'm talking about an idea. They take the idea and they take it a little bit further. I'm talking about something. They talk about something and they explain to me how we can go from this to that. And I'm like, yes, this is the type of conversation I want to have. And I remember telling Buddy after that conversation, I was telling him, you see, this is exactly the type of dinners and the type of circles that we have to be in. If you want to be, sometimes you want to lead, sometimes you want to feel your ego, you want to be happy. Yeah, go with a bunch of ignorance and talk, listen to yourself talking. It's great. You're gonna feel great. Everybody's gonna be, oh my God, amazing! You're so great. Oh, you're so intelligent. It's great, but you waste a lot of time having conversation with people, talking to them about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and those people only know how to count until 50. So for them, listen, if they arrive to 25, hey, they're happy. But if you're already up there at 500 and you're looking at 10,000 one day, you're talking with the wrong people. And it made me think in terms of it made me think of that other dinner we had, and I was with Buddy as well. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go to these dinners in a different manner. I'm gonna go there just to chill, eat some good food, have conversation, debate, but not go there to look for something that is not there. Because the question I was asking myself for all the people in that dinner was, what is your ambition? And sometimes I believe that you arrive sometime somewhere and you believe that you are like everybody else because you are humble. You believe that you are, because you are a singer, a producer, an artist, a performer, but in your head you see everything else. You don't see just training, becoming a rookie, then becoming a football player in Division 4, a young division, then Division 4, then 3, then 2, then maybe one day Division 1, and then become number 10, and then put some goals, get some millions. But if you're like me, you're going to think, okay, once you did that, well, now you take those millions and maybe you buy your own team. You buy your own team so that you can have your own stadium. And then when you retire from playing, you can find players that are like you, younger, and you can put them on the terrain. Maybe you can have 10 teams that play against each other in your 2 stadiums now. And every time there's one game and you have 50,000 places in your stadium and you sell the ticket for 50 euros, you get 50,000 times 50 euros every time there's a game. And now, instead of being the best paid player, you become the guy that pays all these players because they bring you 10 times the money or 100 times the money that you were making when you were just a player. And when I sit down with other singers or other producers, I believe that they are like me, that for them, there's something after singing. And I realized that, no, they want to sing forever. Yeah, they want to run after the ball forever, and they're waiting for people to call them to do a show. And me, I'm not waiting for people to call me. Actually, somebody just called me for a show, and I said, I'm not interested. And it was well paid. They wanted to offer me 5,000, 6,000 to travel I don't know where. And I was like, for less than 10,000, I'm not leaving my house. Oh, but that's a lot of money. Yes. I have 25 years of hits. That's the price. You don't want? I don't care. Even when I play my own music that you're hearing in the back, I'm making money while I sleep. I make money every minute. And I did that so that I wouldn't have to be forced to go perform. When I reach 70, I don't want to be performing. Listen, when I reach 50, I don't want to be performing. I want to do something else. I want to be making way more money doing something else, because at a point you want to be outside of the field, outside of the terrain playing ball. You want to own the stadium. And if you listen to my storyline, when I was, 20 years ago today, when I was releasing Fiona, Bien Plus Fort Que Mes Mots, On the Quoi, and all these bangers, Music Quarion, etc., etc. I was also signing Sumia, Eligio, ABG, Looney Johnson, and everybody else. I was becoming not only I was also their colleague as an artist, but I was also their boss. I was playing on the field, but at the same time, I was owning my own stadium, Sushi Raw. And at the same time, I was launching my apparel brand, Shada wear. And at the same time that I was making hits, I was at the same time making more money from the sales of the albums of Sumia, Eligio, ABG, plus my own albums. And I was saying to myself, okay, maybe I'm gonna start going back and put my artists in front. But I kept making hits, so I kept doing shows for another 10 years, I guess, maybe 15 years. And already at that time, I realized that, traveling when you are in your 20s, it's amazing. You go from a place to another, you change all the time, you have new girlfriends, but you perform in front of new places. You're in Cape Verde one day, 100,000 people. You go to Congo, 100,000 people. You go to the America, you perform in 10 cities. You're in Minneapolis performing for people. Then you're in South Africa, it's full of people. You go here, you go in Gabon, you have 200,000 people. Everywhere, people scream your name. It's amazing, you love it. And every time you take a plane, and you take another plane, then you need to take another plane, and then your back hurts, but you love what you do, and you're tired. You come home, you change your suitcase, you just have the time to put your stuff in the washing machine, go to sleep, put some new clothes in your suitcase, take another plane. You just arrived from Ivory Coast, but now you're going to New York. And it's amazing. It's the best thing. It's everything you wanted. You love it. You're in your late 20s, your 30s. It's great. But then it becomes cumbersome because, you realize that you don't see your son walking for the first time. You don't have a family life. You fail at relationships just because you are never there. And time goes by, and then you start realizing that you want something else in life. And you're ambitious because you also realize that all these playback shows in clubs or live shows in festivals, it's slavery. It's people calling you and deciding how much they are willing to pay you for performing in front of the people who love you. You have your public, they love you, they want to see you, they're ready to pay to see you, but they're gonna pay somebody, and that somebody will say, I'm willing to give you 1,005. Can I have 2,000? No, I can't. I don't have this money. Or you have maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000. Who knows? And then when you go to these clubs, and there's 5,000 people in the club, or there's 5,000, or there's 100,000 people in the stadium, you're like, wait a minute. 100,000 people came in a stadium to see me? How much did they pay? And then you start looking. The ticket was at $5. it's the people, the population, they love you, is $5. So you start calculating, wait a minute. 100,000 by $5, that's $500,000. You paid me how much? 3,000? No. And you start thinking, wait a minute, why am I getting paid by that person when I could organize my own show? And listen, even if I make people pay $3, I'm gonna make 300,000. And then as time goes by, you just realize that, yeah, it's time to move on to the next phase of your life. Listen, if you work at a bakery, it's the same thing. If you work at a bakery, you're there doing the baguettes. It's cool. You at the oven, and one day, yeah, you want to learn to do other things. Once you know how to do everything, you want to go see your boss and tell him, hey, do you plan on opening a second bakery? Do you want to open another shop? And maybe I could be the manager of that second shop because I learned everything from you. And if your boss is smart and ambitious and he thinks like you, he will say, perfect, let's do it. I will invest in a second shop. And you open a second shop in another neighborhood, and now instead of making 5,000 every month, you are now making 10,000 every month. And you are moving up. And maybe when 10 years pass, maybe you guys open, I don't know, 10 bakeries, and you and your boss have a bunch of people who are doing everything for you, and you can move to the next phase, which is just chilling with your family and handling the business and being less hands-on. And in the music world and in the podcast world, and in every time I sit down with people, I realize that a lot of people have no clue what they want to do after. When they reach a certain goal, they don't know what else to do. They wanted to sing, so now they've been singing. And you're like, okay, what else? What's next? What you gonna do after that? Or what are you investing on? Are you opening a restaurant? What are you doing with the money? Oh, with the money, I'm showing all these niggas that I'm better than them. What's wrong with these people? Listen, my wife has 200,000 followers as an influencer, and on Instagram, lots of followers, lots of women follow her, and she receives a lot of dresses from brands that want to do promo with her, and they pay her for that. But at a point, I told her, you should do your own brand, and you should have your own store or your own business where you can do the things you know how to do. Like, you're very good at doing lashes. You should do something like that. And that's exactly what she does now. She has her brand. It's under my brand, Shada, but she has her own website, and she sells her own stuff for women, t-shirt stuff. And now she has a lot of her fans coming to get their eyelashes done because she's very good at that. So maybe one day she's going to stop working where she is, and she's going to open her own beauty salon or something else. Because you have to evolve in life. You have to always think to yourself, what is the next step? Because if you don't do this, you arrive to a point where you got old and Yeah, listen, you might be good at what you do, but when you are 50 years old, the kids that are 18, they will not fantasize on somebody that is the same age as their grandma. It is what it is. So what you have to do is always ask yourself, what is your ambition? And listen, I'm not criticizing the people who want to sing forever. If you want to sing forever and you get gigs, it's all good. But I believe that even there, you have to have the ambition to always think of the next level, which is, instead of waiting for people to call you, you can organize a whole team around the world of people who will organize your shows for you, and you will invest your own money at a point so that instead of being paid $1,000 to do a show, you invest $1,000 in a show and it brings you $4,000, $5,000 or more. And sometimes I sit in those tables for the last 20 years. I've been sitting in those tables and I listen to those people talk, and I'm like, I'm not sitting with the right people. All these people have no clue what they want to do. They just want to stay relevant, or they just want to stay famous because they don't even know why they're famous. They don't even know why they're here. They don't understand that fame is not the goal. Fame is the byproduct. Fame is, you get famous because you did something crazy. Or listen, even if it's okay, people love to criticize the Kardashians because they say they got famous out of nothing. They're vain. I mean, talk about nothing, but reality show. Okay, listen, think what you want, but you have to respect the hustle. These people have been famous for 20 years. They're all billionaires, and it started from just filming their life, filming their daily drama, and then they made it into a multinational brand. Look very well at their show and you will understand that they are fierce business women. When they go to a hotel, the hotel pays. And you will look, there's a point where in the edition you will see a little bit of, oh, they show you the name of the hotel where they were. Trust me, there's 10,000 people who will pose at that moment and write down the name of the hotel and do a reservation. That's why the hotel is paying for that. Whatever they dress, people are looking for that dress wherever they bought it. Wherever they go in places, those places pay to have them there. That's a business. You go from just talking about yourself to having people interested in paying for you to, when you talk about yourself, wearing something. If I sell it, listen, if you have you do your bakery business and you have one bakery and she goes there and she says, oh my God, I love the bread from here. And she just say, oh, the bread from Pauline Safi's bakery is amazing. It has that African flavor. I love it so much. Trust me, you will go from selling 100 breads per day to 20,000 per day, and you will have to open a whole chain because it will change the whole thing. So you have to respect the business of that, the business of understanding that there's a lot of people who enjoy watching people that are just like them. They everyday ladies' problems. People love to see it. And you have to respect that. And you have to respect how they turned it into a full business with brands, makeup, Kylie, Kim, underwear, this, that, all that stuff. You have to respect that. This is the vision. I don't know who in that family has the vision, probably the mom. But if you understand that all these came from a video, you have to respect that. And I sit in those tables and I don't see that vision. And I remember in that dinner where I went, I was listening to everybody talk. And at a point, I just asked a question. But what is your ambition?